Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms.
That was President Biden earlier this week in his farewell address from the Oval Office. He warned of the rise of an oligarchy, comparing influential billionaires of today to the robber barons of 100 years ago. By one definition, Merriam-Webster describes a robber baron as an American capitalist of the latter part of the 19th century who became wealthy through exploitation of natural resources, low wages, or government influence. Think the names Vanderbilt, Carnegie, Rockefeller. To discuss the president's comparison, American historian H.W. Brands joins me now. He's the author of the book American Colossus, The Triumph of Capitalism, which chronicles the rise of wealthy businessmen in the decades following the Civil War and the transformation of the U.S. economy. Thank you so much for being here. Can you bring us back and explain the influence the robber barons of the 19th century had over government and over the American way of life?
So in the 35 years between the end of the Civil War and the beginning of the 20th century, American industry took off in a way it never had before, and it made some people very wealthy. It created the first millionaire class in American history. It also created the first working class in American history. And the names are fairly familiar: Rockefeller, Carnegie, Morgan, Vanderbilt, some of the ones that were mentioned. This group, by and large, stayed out of overt connection to politics. Now, some of them went into politics. The Senate by the 1890s was sometimes called the Millionaires Club because manufacturers, people who had a lot of money could buy their way into a Senate seat. Senators were chosen then by state legislatures. But one of the striking differences between then and now is how visible the connection is between the really rich people and government. And we've got a billionaire as the president-elect, and his right-hand man, Elon Musk, is apparently now the wealthiest man in the world. So this didn't happen earlier in American history. There was a group of wealthy people, and they did have influence in politics, but they're much more visible today than they were back then.
Can you continue to talk about the differences and comparisons? I mean, we've seen tech moguls and how they've been trying to curry favor with the incoming Trump administration. Biden appeared to be alluding to them in his remarks. So is it a fair comparison?
It is, but there's one quite striking difference, and that is there was a party in America in the 1890s called the Populist Party. It was really the first manifestation of a populist sentiment. The populists in the 1890s were opposed to the oligarchs. They tried to get the oligarchs out of politics. The striking thing today is that the oligarchs have been voted into office by a modern-day version of populism. And I'm not quite sure how to explain that difference. I mean, some of it is that the modern media makes a difference here, and perceptions change over time. So there are parallels, and there's some differences as well.
What lessons did America learn from the Gilded Age and the rise and fall of these robber barons? And do you think we've forgotten any of those lessons?
I don't know if we've forgotten them, but there are some lessons to be taken. So the Populist Party arose in the 1890s, and it called for strong regulation of business, strong controls on the very wealthy. And this succeeded after about a decade or so in the era that was called the Progressive era of the beginning of the 20th century. So if there is a parallel, then the oligarchs will have their moment today, but maybe 10 years from now, call it the Democratic side of American politics, will come back in and rein in the arch capitalists.
The pendulum swings. H.W. Brands, thank you.
My pleasure.